No one is coming to save me. My life is 100% my responsibility.
Yeah. They've been stealing your stuff, Paul.
All right, today we have a special guest again, Prince Hixon Jr. right here in the barber shop. We got a safe place where we can have all of our conversations. He's excited to continue to share with you gentlemen. He didn't just want to come here for 1 week. He want to keep coming, you know, and spend some time with us weekly over our 8-week process that we're here. We have an exciting topic today that Prince Hixon Jr. is going to facilitate. What is a father? So a lot of people have their own ideas and perception about what is a father. We're going into the Father's Day weekend, but we want to know, what is a father? You know, do you have a father? Is your father in your life? Is he active? Or what are your feelings about fatherhood? So
who do you see as your father?
Or what is a father? So your father might not be your actual father. It might be your uncle, your cousin, your friend, your neighbor, all of that. You know, but what is a father? You know, and what is a father in your life? We're gonna let Mr. Prince facilitate.
Thanks again for having me. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. How y'all doing again?
Good. Excellent.
I still want the fried chicken. I know the camera roll not right.
We'll get you some chicken, bro. But I got to fry it myself. I'm gonna go ring up one of these chicken. I saw one on 6th Street. I'm gonna get you one fresh.
That's the best one.
Yes, sir.
That's the best one.
Wring his neck. I gotta get my speed up a little bit, but I think I'm good to catch
You
him.
might have to send one of y'all out there to catch that chicken.
They ain't that bad. They ain't that bad.
Y'all can't catch me.
But go and start them off with that statement.
Y'all remember to say me?
Yes.
So y'all just repeat after me. So everybody collectively just repeat after me. No one is coming to save me.
No one is coming to save me.
My life is 100% my responsibility.
My life is 100% my responsibility.
No one is coming to save me.
No one is coming to save me.
My life is 100% my responsibility.
My life is 100% my responsibility.
So the question today, guys, is what is a father, right? So I just want you guys to think about that for a second before we go around the room. And we want to ask every individual in here, what is a father? And I want to answer it first, right? So you guys can get an idea. And I want you guys to not do your best not to say the same thing that your friend said. Just think about it for yourself, for you, not what Kevin just said, kind of his granddad. Just say what it is for you. Just be honest, right? We're not holding anything against you guys. So for me, I was lucky, guys. I was very lucky that my dad was in my life, still to this day. From the beginning, he was always there for me. Playing sports, playing with the Lakeland Fire guys. I didn't tell you guys that, but I played on one of the first teams they had. I'm 13 and under. Terrence McGriff there, and Bartow was our coach. And starting out for me, my dad wasn't there, so it would be some games I wouldn't play so good. I wouldn't be there mentally. I would have, a great week of practice, but sometimes in the game, I would just not always be there at the beginning. I'm quite sure some of you guys can relate to that. Playing sports, sometimes when you get up that day, it's just things ain't going so well that day, But my dad was always a guy that I look up to still to this day. Like I said, I've been blessed to have him in my life. So what happened was he works at the mine still. He took off one weekend, he came to that tournament, and I played the best I've ever played thus far. I think I was actually 14 and under when he ended up coming to that particular game. Terrence McGriff told my dad, if he comes to the game again, he knows that I'll play at a higher level. So my dad never missed another tournament from that point on, right? So for me, a father is a man that is in your life, that guides you, that helps you understand what it will be in life from their perspective, right? It's not always that you will always do exactly what he does, because I've asked my dad multiple times to allow me to work at the mine. And he always would tell me, Junior, you can't work at the mine. I'm like, hey, I'll make good money, man. I want to make some money. I was working at Polish back then. He was like, you can't work at the mine. And I was like, why? He was like, it's too many chemicals out there, and I'm taking a risk for our family, right? So I would not want my son to take the same risk. Yeah, you're going to make some good money, but go find something else to do. That's what my dad told me. So from that perspective, guys, just think about it. We're gonna start in the back, as we always do. We're gonna start in the back. I told y'all about that back. It ain't always good sitting in the back. We're gonna start in the back. What is a father for you?
A role model.
A role model. What else? What else? Who would you consider your father as?
I'm gonna say like a teacher.
Take your mask off. So
I'm gonna say like a teacher.
Who personally
What's
would
his
be
name?
your like?
Oh, his name is Tavares.
Tavares. What is Tavares to you? Is it your cousin or
My dad.
your dad? That's what's up. He been there since you was born?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's what's up. He's from Lakeland.
He came to this camp.
Ah.
TBC.
Okay, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's guys, and I don't mean to say it because I don't know, but it's a lot of us as kids, as young men, that our fathers just aren't there. We have to go to uncles, grandfathers, Mr. Jeffrey, myself, Mr. Greg, as dads or fathers to, get some leadership, get some mindset, get some outlook on life. So we're just trying to figure out what is a father for all of us collectively along with individually. We're going in order this time. What is a father for you? Who would you consider your father as? If he's not your actual father, that's what I mean.
Motivator.
Speak up a little bit.
A motivator.
Your father would be motivating. So in your life, who is your father? Is your dad in your life? What's his name?
Gerald King.
Gerald King. You from Lakeland? Okay. I know y'all. Some of y'all not from Lakeland, right? Everybody
Yeah.
here from Lakeland?
I'm from Japan.
Some Bartow, some other places, but most of them from Lakeland.
Great. That's a great thing. Next.
Father to me is someone who would be there every step of the way.
Who is your father? Is he in your life?
Yes, sir.
What's his name?
Corey.
Corey. If you guys don't mind, I
Last
want you to
name.
say your father's name so we kind of get an outlook on who the person is. Because I'm a junior personally, so my dad's name is Prince Hixon Sr. I'm Prince Hixon Jr. All right. Next.
Oh,
Who is a father to you?
like someone who cares for you.
What was that?
Someone who cares for you.
Yeah, they definitely care for you. Who is your father? What's his name?
DeAndre.
DeAndre? That's your actual dad, right?
DeAndre Calloway.
Calloway.
Mhm.
And these faces like, I know these kids. Like, I know all y'all just about these. Faces starting to add up. I see Kevin Gates in here still.
We coming to you. We trying to see who what is a father?
What is a father to you?
Who will be with you throughout your life, no matter what.
What you feel like he would show you? Because I know you're a smart guy. No one else is a smart way. What does he show you in your life, your father? What does he
Show
help
you
you
what
with?
to do when you be your father. Like to show you, like you have your own kids, to show you what to do and be a better dad than them.
Gotcha. That's good stuff. What's your
Michael.
father?
Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson.
People in Bartow.
You from Bartow? Gotcha. Next.
Well, a father to me is somebody who leads you away from all the bad stuff in life.
What's your dad's name?
I'm a junior, so Kareem because
You junior, you like me, man. You special, man. You got somebody else's name, man. You have something to live up to. So when I was a kid, guys, everybody would call me Junior or Little Man. So I'm looking at my dad like, man, I got some big shoes to fill. I gotta go hard out here, man. This man out here doing this thing. Right? So you gotta keep your head on tight and pay attention to the details that your dad does, the relationship that he has. So I run into people in my life that did not want to take on the footsteps, or should I say the name of their father. Like, I want to do something totally different than my dad. I don't want to use any of his resources. Like, why would you want to do that? So when I go to the bank, it's relationships that my daddy has built that I can actually get a loan, guys, off my daddy's name. Because they know my daddy so well, they know that I won't do bad business because they know my dad. So just think about that when you're out here making decisions, guys. You have a name to live up to. We have family. Next, what is your father to you?
Somebody tell you right from wrong.
Turns your life around. How does he do that?
No. I said tell you right from wrong.
Tell you right from wrong. Okay, that's right. That's right. Who is your father? What's his name?
Somebody who teach me to do lessons.
Listen up, focus up.
We ain't got to you yet. We got to you just yet. Hold up.
He just waking up.
Oh, y'all just had them wieners and wieners, so y'all kind of like, you know,
Somebody.
That's sugar.
Well, what's his name? What's your dad's name? Michael. What's his last name? Speaks.
Hicks.
Hicks.
Yeah, you know I'm Buster.
I know everybody here.
See, you a junior.
Just listen. Thank you.
Next. Now's your turn.
Someone who teaches you lessons and take care of you.
Teaches you lessons and takes care of you. Yeah, that's my stuff. What's your father's name? That's your brother.
Are y'all twins or no? Okay.
How far apart are you guys, age-wise? How old are you?
I'm 13.
You 15? How old are you?
No, 13.
You 13? How old are you? So, y'all back to back. Oh, what's up? What's the father to you, bro? Didn't hear you, know? God. Y'all heard that?
Wait, he said,
Hold on, listen. Just listen.
Then he said, what?
Just listen.
This is tripping.
What is his father? That's no.
I thought he said, what is his father, not who is his father?
Just listen to him. We're going to go around the room, guys. So we want everybody to respect one another, right? So when someone else is talking, you just listen. If you have some input, just think about your time to talk. So right now, what is the father? Is your father in your life? What's his name? Clyde. Just listen, guys. Just listen. Y'all won't have. Who's a father to you? Or what is a father to you? I'm sorry. Listen. Go ahead. Funny, entertaining. So your dad is definitely a comedian. Nope.
He said something just to say.
My father is strong. Your father's strong. No, he weak.
Your dad is in your father's in your life, right? So is he a comedian? Is he funny? So what made you say that he's trying to be different? Trying to be different from everybody else? I don't know a whole lot of dads that are comedians other than Jeff. Jeff a comedian all day long. That's what Jeff do. Next, right? What is the father to you? Straightforward, doesn't cut corners. That's a great dad. Is your father in your life?
Yes, sir.
What's his name?
Greg.
What's that? Greg. Next. What is a father to you?
A man that teaches you how to be a man.
Sit up. Your back broke or something? Take that book bag off. It's bigger than you. Yeah, it's bigger than you. Paul. Appreciate you.
Sit up. I know your father.
A man that teaches you how to be a man. That's good stuff, right?
I'll tell him that.
Yeah, you know, I'm the dad.
Settle down. Let them talk.
Calm down, guys. Calm down. So, what is your dad? Is your dad in your life?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Daniel Robinson, I think he's third.
He's the third. So that make you the fourth?
I'm not a fourth.
He a third.
You third?
Yeah, he a third.
I am
Next, what is the father to you? Listen up, guys.
Well, tell you the truth, tell you what you work on, tell you what you do,
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Put that phone up unless you cash out me. I ain't got no notification. Okay. I apologize.
All right, boy. What is your dad's name? Your dad is in your life, right? You don't know your dad's last name?
Oh, no, DeMarcus Border.
He said DeMarcus Border Sr.
Oh, it's Buddhist, okay.
Just going off his facial expression, you look like.
I was confused because his dad named DeMarcus stuff, and my brother named him.
Okay, that's understandable. That's understandable. Just shine.
He almost called him hot boy.
Settle down, guys. Settle down.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right? What is a father to you? Huh? Gotta give you something. Too smart of a guy. You just said it earlier, like, what is a father to you? You said something earlier. When everybody else was talking, you had something to say. Now it's your turn to talk. You
Got the hush mouth.
Well, I don't know because like my dad ain't really in my life like that.
So that's what we asking.
I talk to him like twice a year.
Right, that's why we asking this question.
So what would you want your father to be? Or who is your father figure in your life?
Your mom. You would consider your mom as your father. Which is like what does she do?
Basically everything my dad does.
Right.
Do you have any other uncles or any other family members that kind of play that role? Teachers, coaches, anything? So as a, when you become a dad, what would you do differently that your dad didn't do for you, for your kids?
I have kids.
Well, if you got all these girls and they lining up, so you not, so it only take 1 second, so you wouldn't have a kid. Actually, the lady would have the kid. But you're into females. Do you like girls?
Yeah.
Oh, so it might happen. You might get a lucky 2 seconds and you got a baby. So now assume that you do have the baby. Okay, what would you do? Listen up, y'all might learn.
What would you do different than what was done for you?
Actually come around.
Like 3 times a year? I'm just saying, you might say, hey, that's better. I only got 2 times a year, so I'm increasing it to 3.
I gotta be honest, guys.
Think about it.
How often would you come around? If you and a mother aren't together, right? How often would you consider coming around? Every weekend. So hold up. So think about this, right? Do you feel like every weekend is enough for you right now? If your dad was to change the way he's moving, and he was like, I'm gonna come around every weekend, do you feel like that would be enough time spent with you? Know what I'm saying? Okay, just try to remove that mindset you have towards your dad right now, right? And think about it, if you do have a relationship with him, right? And you're open to him coming around, and he says, son, I'm gonna come around you every weekend moving forward. Do you feel like that's enough time spent with your dad? That will be, so you gotta think about this when you have kids, man. Every weekend is not enough.
Oh my gosh.
So when I see you out in the streets 5 years from now, I say, cuz, is this an alien or is this a kid? What is this?
See, one thing, I'm not even gonna be here 5 years. I'm graduating. I'll probably be off of college.
No, but I see you. I'm going to every college campus. I'm on every college campus throughout the year. What college you plan on going to? Oklahoma, yeah. I'm in the Midwest. I'm everywhere. Yes, sir.
Just to see you.
So all we asking that you do this, Shane, is think about how you feel right now. We're not asking you to express that, right? So when that time comes that you have a kid, because you love girls, and the chances of you not having a kid is very.
If you go out to Oklahoma, they gonna love you. So they offering free smoked neck bone specials out there and everything. Gonna say yes. And next thing you know, you got a baby. You say, oh my gosh, Mr. Jesse said it was gonna happen.
I don't like doing formal relationships, so now I'm straight.
And it actually happens. So all we ask is that you not treat your kid
I'm not gonna do
the
that.
way that you are being treated right now.
Yeah, I'm
That's
doing-
all we asking you to do.
I'm doing good, you know.
Every week.
Just make good decisions.
Yeah.
More than the weekend, please.
Come with me for the whole week.
No,
So
I
when you
can't
put
do it.
more
I don't got
weight-
the patience to deal with children.
Come on, you got us.
We're gonna come back.
Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back. We're gonna get through and come back to you.
Hey, what is the father saying?
Listen up.
That was Peter. That was Peter for kids.
That means that is there for their kids, right?
Yeah.
What's your father's name?
Corey Lightsey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, senior.
You know,
Or like to see.
been around for a little
Season.
while.
You just season.
Everything y'all said here. I don't know all of them personally, but I know of them if I don't know them. Young fella, I see you over here comfortable, man. You alright? Crocs off. Shoes up. Might as well lay down, bro. I know you got something to eat for me, man. You comfortable in here. Put the shoe on the wrong foot.
You get nervous. You're nervous in here.
Huh? We just asking a good old question that everybody answers, man. We ain't worried too bad. What is a father to you? You gotta sit up now.
Sit
We
on
can't
up.
hear all night
Sit
now,
on
man.
up.
You gotta sit up.
You gotta get off that scoliosis and straighten up your spine a little bit. Straighten up your spine.
Hey, they did say you got his best
Bird.
They didn't say that though.
Just settle down, settle down, settle down.
Sit on up, man.
Chill out in the back. We focus up. Thank you.
He motivated me to be good.
Motivate you to be good. Is that in life? Is that in sports? Like what is that? Everything? What's your dad's name? Is that your father is in your life, right? Jesse? What's his last name?
Right.
Jesse. Next. What is their father to you?
Someone that
Your dad is in your life? Your father is in your life? How long has he been locked up? You don't mind me asking. About 10 years now? So since he's been gone, I'm gonna get a little personal now, that's all right. Since he's been gone, has it been anyone other than, has it been anyone that you look at as a father for you? Your stepdad? That's what's up. That's what's up. What's your stepdad's name? What's your dad's name? I'm sorry. Verdi? What's his last name? Vernon. So guys, think about that. Sometimes in life, things happen. People make decisions. Your dad make decisions, or man, sometimes your dad passes away. What about that? Your dad passes away, and he was in your life. He was motivating you, pushing you to the next level. He was that go-to person, and the Lord calls him home. What if your mom passes away?
See, I'm gonna go then. It's gonna be
So then we have to go back to what we talked about last week. The whole week was what? Utilizing your resources. Now look, we'll never have another dad other than your dad. You'll never have another mom other than your mom, right? But we all have to go to certain people. We need people, guys. That's why the Lord put us amongst people. We need each other every day, right? So once those people are taken away from you, whether it be, from making bad decisions or going home, when I say go home, I mean passing away, we have to go to other family members, friends, Mr. Jeffrey, Mr. Greg here, myself. We have to go around and figure out who is that person that I can go to now that this other person has left, right? Because sometimes, guys, if we don't find that person, we start to make horrible decisions, right? In our life, we need balance, right? So a lot of people, such as your mom and your dad, they balance us out, right? So it might be sometimes you like get real mad because your friend did something, and usually you were like, "Mom, this man tripped. This man tells me da." Right? I want to go beat him up. I want to go do something that I know I shouldn't do, but your mom is not there, or your dad is not there. So you have to figure out who is that person that can fill that void for you. Y'all can understand where I'm coming from? Think about that. Next, who's the father for you?
a father figure is a person that always makes sure that you're in check and wants you to be successful in life.
Simple. Yeah, that's him right there. What's your dad's name? What's his name? Jimmy what? Jimmy? Who? How do you supposed to
Winston boys.
I came up in the Pines. You know what the Pines is? That's where I grew up at. I grew up in the Pines. Been knowing your dad since, I was a baby. What's your name? What is the father for you? I see you like the Lakers. Why I like the Lakers, buddy? We ain't looking so good this year, but we all right. What's the father for you?
Someone who is honest and will be there for you even when he feels he's not obliged to be there. But there's some fathers like mine who I only see like once a week. And I always want to see him more. Like, I want him to make the effort to go see me more. So like, yeah, so I think a father is someone who is to do everything just to be with their kids and it's foreign to them. Because you know, everybody needs a father no matter who you are. Yeah, that's right.
That was a great response there. I mean, what you feel like, does your father know that you would like to spend more time with him? Does he know that?
I mean,
because sometimes, guys, we just don't know, right? And we go about living our life as grown-ups, you know, and we just like, I guess that's enough of it. You know, it may be something that he has against your mom. That happens as well. But just knowing, like, hey, I want to kind of, you know, can you come around more? Or, you know, are you too busy? I'm getting of age, Dad. I kind of want to know how to be a man. And you are the person that I look to as a man. Sometimes they just need to know that, you know. It's not always so common sense, like we say, common sense is always, what it is, common sense ain't always so common. You have to, you think you would do something different if you told him? Or does he know that?
I mean, I just done told my mom that she told my dad. So like, I already don't know. Like, I already don't know now. But like, I just want to spend time with them.
I think it may hit different than you tell. I'm just being honest. When I tell my dad something, opposed to my mom tell him, it's a difference. If my mom tell him, that's what my middle name is Kenneth. My mom calls me by my middle name. Kenneth needs to use your truck. He might be like, all right. If I call him and tell him I need something, I need to use the truck, he gonna be like, when you come, I'm finna bring you the key right now. So just think about it, right? Just think about it as a whole. Next, what is the father for you?
Someone who does the work for you and your mom.
Someone that does the work for you?
Well, that helps.
Or help do the work for you? What's your dad's name?
Johnson and my stepdad is Adrian Knight-Rezarie.
Oh, I feel like I'm getting old. I know everybody in here.
Now, to me, what a father is just basically your protector, your provider, your leader. He's your everything. You know, somebody's your Superman. You know, that's gonna save you in any situation. I'm gonna show you how to treat a woman. Just gonna show you how to navigate and be successful in life. You know, a lot of y'all are blessed. I think we have an overwhelming number. But all of you guys have fathers in here, and then they sent you to a positive program like this. But there's so many kids that's out in the community that need to be here, but they don't have dads that's pushing them towards here. So now you see them hanging around Sim. They might be shooting the little pellet guns. That's an easy way to get in trouble. You know, like with me, I grew up right down the road, Dakota Project. You already know. Roaches doing backflips off the what? Countertop. Rats nibbling through the wall, fan in the window. So a lot of times you seeing other kids with dads and say, why don't I deserve a dad? Why I don't have a dad? You know what I'm saying? So you feel you seeing other kids get cars and things that you wish you had, but you don't have a dad. And you say, man, so all you can do is say, from his bad example, I can turn into a good example and say, I'm gonna be everything to my kids that my dad wasn't for me. You know, so you think, man, you know, if you stand in a project, you can do anything. You can go to people's houses any time of the night. You know, I was living out there with my auntie. You know, we could be anywhere in the city doing all types of things that we shouldn't be doing, but the woman can only do so much. With a man and a man presence, he's gonna put that fear in your heart. Unlike, you know, so when you got kids that have dads in their lives, a lot of times they're gonna be more successful than kids without, because the men, they do have a presence. A lot of times, even the females, when they got a dad there, is they're not getting as pregnant as much as kids, yeah, that don't have that dad in their life. So it's great that all you young men, you have dads. I know a lot of your dads that have participated in this program, and a lot of them, they didn't have that father figure in their life. You know, so with my kids, I got, you know, like 3 kids. You know, I try to be everything for my kids that my dad wasn't for me. You know, communicating on them, loving them, is being there for them as much as possible, and that's critical. You know, that's you know, so I go in and bless them if they're doing what they're supposed to do. You know, like my youngest daughter, she make them straight A's. I give her $200 every report card. She said, "You can't." I said, if I'm giving this money to her, and I won't have to pay for no scholarships or nothing like that, she's gonna be successful in all areas of her life. Like I tell people, money is the cheapest thing on me. If I get it once, I'm gonna get it again. You know what I'm saying? But I'm investing in her to let her know, hey, the schooling is important. Is valuable. So she got iPhones, she got all kind of stuff, you know, anything that she want, but she has her number one job is to go to school and get her education. She ain't got to go worry about working no job, doing nothing else, and she's gonna get everything she need. I'm gonna provide it for her. You know, I'm her provider. So she can ask me, hey Dad, can we go to Kobe's? Sure. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I like redfish. She don't want no tilapia, nothing. She wants salmon. Salmon is expensive. But I condition her so anybody else that come behind me, she ain't gonna deal with no Rudy Poop with his pants hanging down and smelling like weed and, you know, hair looking like a suspect and not a prospect. So she's gonna have an expectation. You ain't gonna be able to get with her with a Happy Meal. She don't like McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? She like Kobe's and things like that. Those are her restaurants that she likes. She like a nice steakhouse and all of that. So you gotta come correct. So like some of these girls, you can go and get them one of them Wingspot meals and you can have your business with them because they don't have anybody, you know, so they'll settle for anything. So the main thing, like you young men, you got to start looking. If you don't have a father in your life, you got to go ahead and identify somebody that can kind of fill that role, either directly or indirectly. And then a lot of times we build up anger and resentment for our dads where it causes stress and all types of stuff, because I had a lot of anger in me, you know, all the way up into college where I had like acid reflux, you know, but once I released that and got forgiveness, talked to him and we talked it out, I was good. I was at peace. And then stuff started flowing even better in my life. I was always successful, but once I eliminated that and we had a conversation, you know, things got better. You know, I wouldn't let them come into my graduation from college and all that. Say, you just want to show up on the celebrations. You know, where were you along the way when I was hungry late in the midnight hour? Or I needed a ride, or I needed, we called it the Great Depression. You'll be hungry at school, so you might find somebody that, that's a sponsor, got some food or something that you don't have, just because, you know, so you'll be friends with folk for food. Not friendly like that, but just, hey, tell a couple jokes and all that, but that's it. But you just think, man, you just coming up for the celebrations, and you really haven't been there for me. But at the end of the day, communication is the key to success. And a lot of times your dad ain't gonna never be there for you. And you just gotta come to grips with that, and you just gotta just kind of make the best out of the situation, but it just makes you better, because it used to be painful, you know, seeing all these other kids and people living nice and lovely, and you know, and I wasn't getting all that. You know, I'm thinking, I'm not a bad guy, I'm not a bad person. Why do I deserve this? So y'all gotta think y'all are blessed. All of y'all are blessed, you know, to have a dad in y'all life, because I didn't experience that. And a lot of my friends, they didn't experience it. They sold drugs, they did whatever, they went out and they ran trains on girls. They could do anything. Nobody was able to check them. They could just do anything. The mama couldn't say nothing to them. They was managed, they was grown, you know, so they went, they stole out of places, they did whatever. Cuss, fuss, disrespectful to adults. There was nobody there to gauge them or guide them. And a lot of them, they went to jail, they went to prison. You know, they got out, you know, and started making good choices, and a lot of them are successful now. But if that man was in their life, they could have avoided a lot of hurt and hardship.
Mr. Jeff, I noticed that you said that you didn't have a great relationship, and then I noticed that Mr. Prince said sometimes you need to just step up to your dad, and maybe you could send him a text message, or you could say something to tell him that you want him to be in your life more. Can you expound on that, Mr. Prince?
Just like Mr. Jeff said about communicating, sometimes, guys, it's having that open relationship with your dad, just telling them, being honest, like, Dad, can I talk to you? Or it's not always even that it is your father. You may even feel more comfortable speaking to Mr. Jeff, myself, or Greg, right? So sometimes it's not just, it has to be your actual father that you open up to and that can lead you. Sometimes it is another person. So just consider that when you're looking to grow as a man, when you're looking to grow and build those, relationships with other people. Some men just aren't communicators like, and people are, it's mothers like that too. They just don't communicate well, right? So you have to then go outside of that person that you're looking to, like, I feel like my mom should do this, right? But if she doesn't do that for you, maybe you need to go to your auntie. Maybe you need to charge your grandma. Maybe you need to go to, one of your teachers, And we're talking about dad, so it'll be your uncle or your granddad, right? Or even a friend of yours' dad, right? So you have to consider that when you're looking to find that, that person that will lead you in the right direction, because everybody's not going to be open to telling you everything that they know to lead you in the right direction.
And some dads don't know how to be a dad because they didn't have a dad. You can't be what you don't see. So a lot of them, they don't know how to communicate, and then you start going back generation to generation, where dads were removed out of the home in slavery and the families were broken apart. Right. So a lot of times the men just remain distant, and still men are distant now. Right. And they say, hey, my kids, they all right, they good. You know what I'm saying? So, but, a lot of the kids aren't good, and a lot of kids are depressed and they are going through all types of emotional issues. But sometimes just like you just got to say, hey, Dad, I need to see you a little more often. Just like his dad was never coming to none of his tournaments, and then his coach was kind of like his advocate. Hey, your son, if you come to these games, your son gonna get out off. He gonna show off. So a lot of us, I was pretty fast. I was, a good football player, but I never had my dad see not one of my games. You know what I'm saying? I was running track meets, scoring touchdowns, this, that, and other. You got all the other kids, they got dads out there. You think that was probably hurtful? I could have scored 100 touchdowns. But if I only scored one and my dad was there, it would have been more monumental than scoring them other 99. Yes, sir.
Who was your father figure?
I had a lot of father figures. I had uncles. I had my brother-in-law. A lot of people know Coach Joe, Ernest Joe. So it was a lot of the community. You had a lot of great leaders in the community that invested in you, that wanted to see you to be successful. I had also a role model, Mr. Williams, Donald Williams with Upward Bound. He was a great mentor, and then all of the workers from Upward Bound, Mr. Pride, and just family members, older cousins, and stuff like that. Those were like role models because they were doing things, and then they wanted you to be successful. So they weren't saying, hey, go sell some drugs, go do this. Say, man, you smart. You need to go to school, get your education, go off to college, all of that, and forget about all this other stuff. So it's a lot of people in the community that were pushing you towards positivity. So it would be multiple people, like say brother-in-law, uncles, big cousins, all of that, and just other, just people in the neighborhood just saying, man, that's what's up.
Let's factor in, because I know a lot of, when I was your guys' age, people would talk to me, and some days you just like, man, I don't want to hear what Mr. Jerry got to say today, man, talking too much. God, just listen. Just listen to what they're saying. You may not take it all in at that moment when they're speaking, but you look back and think about conversations that you've had. I know I do it all the time. That I had with Mike Taylor that was here the other day. And I could go down the list of names that they've given me gems as a kid, and those factor back into your life when you become of age, when you become a dad, when you become a role model, when you become a grown person. So just listen, guys, and don't be so quick. I know what he's talking about. I did that before.
And Reggie Cannon said the same thing. Just listen. You might think they're being tough on you, but we're just trying to shape you and guide you and help set you up for success. We've been your age. You've never been ours. Right? And we can always say that for life. And so we're trying to prevent you from having to learn some lessons that we already learned. Trying to make you avoid them. But some of you are going to learn the hard way. You don't want to listen. Don't want to listen. So I don't forgot more than what all of y'all combined have ever learned. Not to be funny, but that's real. I'll be 52 in November, so I'm pretty much 3 times most of y'all age plus times.
Plus.
Wake them up, Jeff. Pump them up.
Get on up, get on up, get on up, get on up.
That cold out, get up every time.
Oh yeah, that cold out. They don't got on them good groceries and stuff like that. But we gonna walk them down to the library. That'll wake them up. So we gonna all the ones that sleep. We gonna let y'all just walk while the bus ride down the hill. Y'all just be walking to the library. They getting on up now. But yeah, this is a subject area that it can really be where you might not even want to express yourself in here. But find somebody that you can talk to. Find somebody that you can talk to, because you don't want to carry this burden with you, throughout high school, where it's affecting your grades, even perfecting your performance as an athlete. So a lot of times the dads, they haven't had a dad, so they don't even really know how to communicate. They don't know how to say, I love you, or I miss you, or any of those things. So you just say, man, I wish my dad said, I love you. Or I'm saying it, but he's not saying it back. I wish he would just give me a hug. Something as simple as just give me a call. That every day, just call me once a day. It's gonna be our time that we chit chat. So it's a lot of little stuff, but you gotta be thinking. A lot of the dads, they haven't learned because they didn't have a dad in their life. So even so, sometimes you do have dads there. They're present, but they're not connected. So people say, man, they should be good. They got a mama and a daddy there. But it's just like if you have your phone and you got it plugged in, but it's not connected. You didn't push it all the way into there where it's getting juice. So the dad there, but he ain't getting you no juice. He ain't getting you no electricity. He just there. He just laying next to your mama on that huncho at night. But he's not sewing into you. He's not being the leader. He's not being the provider. He's not being the protector. He's just taking up space. Your mama out there working, getting all the money. She being the protector. She's the provider. She's the prophet. She's the everything. So a lot of times the daddy is just there. They really have no presence. They're not spending no time with you. They're not coming to your games. They're not saying I love you, training you how to work or do anything.
Mr. Jeff, I know you mentioned that if the dads are not in their lives, where can we go? Can we go to a mentor? Like, what's a great mentor? A teacher, like Rich Club, like
Yeah. Just a lot of times it could be your teacher, or sometimes it could be somebody at your church. So you're just gonna have to
barbershop.
Barbershop, yeah. Coming to the barbershop. We got people coming here all the time. I'm taking out on tours. I don't get a chance to do mentoring, like one-on-one mentoring, because I don't have time to. But I just do more so group mentoring. And then some people, they may be magnetized to specific leaders, where they can form a closer relationship. But it's even some people that I do some kids are magnetized to me, and they get a chance to spend a little more time with me than the average person, because I'm always wanting to help make somebody better, to help make them successful. So a lot of times I'll help others before I help myself, because that's just who I am.
So even going out, guys, and letting that mentor know that you want to be mentored says a lot as well. We don't read minds, right? We are people, guys, so remember that. When you I'm looking to Mr. Jeffrey to be my mentor, I would actually tell Mr. Jeffrey, I would like you to mentor me. I would like to get somewhere inside. I would like to, can I call you sometime? Can you call me sometime? Can we text? Communicate that with that person, and not just feel like Mr. Jeffrey should call me. Mm-hmm. That's probably not gonna happen. As he just said, he's pretty busy. I'm a pretty busy guy. Mr. Greg is a pretty busy guy, but we're all open to mentoring if we know who wants to be mentored, right? So you wanna make sure that you communicate. Now, even with your father, he might not know that you want more from him. He might not know that you want a hug. Just go give him a hug. Just give him a hug yourself, right? Just tell him that you love him, right? And see what his response is. Don't always feel like the parent or the mentor has to initiate what you're looking for, right? You can initiate it too.
Yeah, I like it. Let me piggyback on that. Another thing, your mentor can come through different avenues of approach. What I mean by that is, you may see somebody, let's say like myself, that does real estate, right? And I have classes. And you might take a liking to what I do. You might say, man, Greg do real estate. He flip houses, you know what I'm saying? He build houses. I want to check it out. You tell your mom, your dad, or your cousin, or you, hey, I want to go to one of them seminars. You come to the seminar. Mr. Jeff had brought Adrian. He brought Adrian there. He brought another guy there.
Stanley
came there. And you can find mentorships through different avenues. You might have a passion for something. If it ain't with real estate, it could be with drawing. It could be with architect. It could be with anything. But you can find a mentor, even if your dad is not there in your life. And like my brother Prince said, if your dad's not in your life and you want him in your life a little more, we know the dad should be taking the responsibility because they're adults. But if you got that cell phone, Mr. Jeff tell y'all all the time, you got that cell phone, you can text him. Hey, I was at the Rich Club today, and I had some gentlemen talking to me about fatherhood, and I don't think I see you enough. I'm telling you, if you drop that in on him like that, that's gonna get in his mentals. That's gonna get inside his head. My son just texted me and told me, I don't see you enough, Dad. You know, I'm looking for a mentor. And there's different ways to find mentors. And like Mr. Jeff said, being obedient is one. Somebody may come to you to mentor you if they see that you're doing the right thing. For example, Mr. Jeff come to me and say, Greg, I would like you to take this young guy. What's your name right here, man? Deshaun. I would like you to take Deshaun up under your wing, okay? And mentor him, because I see he got a great future, but he ain't doing that right now. Just using him metaphorically speaking, meaning I'm just using him as an example. Then I take him out to some of the houses that we're working on and say, hey, he's out here with me. This is my main man right here. He's going to be learning how to flip these houses. And before long, he learned a trade. Then he's coming back to the Rich Club, and now he's mentoring somebody. So we call that paying it forward. So don't always think that if your dad not in your life, that's the end. You know, like I said, look to your uncle, your cousin, or somebody that's in a space that's doing right. Look for a role model that you want to be like. And if you see the qualities in them, then, like he said, go up to them and say, hey, you know, my dad's not in my life. I need a mentor. I guarantee you, most of those people are not going to let you just walk away. They're going to find you or point you in the right direction if they don't have time. So think about that, all right?
So what I want to say is today, I'm going to do it because I want to do it for real. Mr. Greg, I want you to mentor me, brother.
How you doing?
How can I get on, come on board? I'm for real.
So what you like? What you trying to do?
I'm looking to flip houses. I'm looking to get into real estate. I know that's the space that you're in, and I know you can teach me some things about flipping houses.
Well, you come to the right man right now because we got a class on July the 10th. This is real talk. We got a class on July the 10th in Bartow. And I'm going to be walking through my neighborhood where I grew up at. And some of the houses are raggedy. They're bungalow houses. They're sitting on blocks. I'm going to be walking through the houses in the neighborhood, and I'm going to be taking people around and showing them the houses that I built from the ground up and some of the houses that I rehabbed that should have been knocked over, and we restored them. So I'm going to take the people through the neighborhood and show them exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to show them how to get private money. I'm going to show them how I just paid a guy almost $100,000 yesterday. I paid a gentleman who gave me $90,000 cash money. I gave him back $96,500 and some odd dollars. That's a true story. I gave it to him yesterday. That's almost $100,000. How did I give him that yesterday? Well, I gave him that yesterday because a fellow realtor, Mr. Bryant, some of y'all know him, Scott Bryant, brought me a buyer to my house. And they purchased the house for $265,000. It's a house that I purchased for $91,000. But I rehabbed it and put almost $145,000 into it. So I made a good profit off of that. And then I went back and paid the guy who gave me the money. So I didn't use my money, man. I used somebody else's money who came to me in the form of like a loan. He's still kind of like a mentor because he's a mentor to me, what? Financially. He's a mentor to me financially. See, a lot of people think that you have to have the money in your bank account. When you don't, you just have to have the intelligence to know how to go out and talk to people and let them get on your mission. If you can make somebody believe in your mission and your why, what I'm doing in my hood, because in Bartow, that's important to me, going around fixing up my hood, right? So when I go back to Bartow and I do a class and I do it for free and bring people in, like my brother here, I'm going to bring him in and show him how to get that paper, all right? And then he'll teach the next person how to get that paper. Now, it ain't just all about the paper. It's about building up the community. Because when you're building up the community, more people will give you the houses for you to flip in order to feed your team and your family. You got a question back here. What's your name?
Cameron.
Talk to me.
What age do you have to start to be a real estate agent?
I think you have to be at 18. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that, but at 18. But you can start learning today. You don't have to wait for an age limit. You can learn the qualities, the traits, the leadership skills, all right, to be a great realtor when it comes time to be that. You don't have to wait. Look at me, for example. If you came out and said, I want to go out there with you on July the 10th, hey, bring him with me. I want to come out there and check it out, Greg, and you see what I'm doing and you like it, then you start building your book of business. That means getting people to call you for houses, and you can do it at any age. And I just happen to be pretty successful at it throughout when I retired from the military. So, and I'm going to teach my brother, that's a true statement what he asked me. I'm actually going to teach him what I know. And then it's up to him to apply it. All right, I could teach you something all day. There's a bunch of doctors and lawyers and stuff. But if you don't go out and apply it, then it's a waste. So you got to put it into action. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to be seeing you on July the 10th, and we're going to chop it up before that, right?
For sure.
All right. So I'm going to be your mentor as far as with real estate. So I'm taking on a mentor. This is a grown man asking me to be his mentor. So it shouldn't be nothing for you to ask somebody to be your mentor. So I've already told him that I'm going to be his mentor, but I'm putting it on camera right now as we role play this out for you. But me and him going to break bread together, and then he's going to mentor me on some things. So check it out. Hey, how you doing, Fred? Check it out, man. My marketing, man, I don't have a website. You know, I do all my marketing on my own, and sometimes I'm up all times of night. Do you have some way you can get me a website and put this stuff on automation? I know your significant other, your wife, your beautiful partner, she does that. How can you help me with that?
So what we're gonna do, like we planned on doing, we're gonna sit down and have us some good old grocery together.
All right.
Talk some turkey. When we have time, we know we're pretty busy. We're gonna go over some different techniques that you can use, hashtags, things of that nature, on your social media, get your website and get all that running smoothly. I think you have a great personality that a lot of people don't know you like for Greg. So being able to get out and spread out that to the world is what I know that's what you're looking for. Yeah. But you know people don't. Your energy, man, it's just it's impeccable. You know what I mean? So it's nothing for you to build up a following. All social media is just actually getting it out and figuring out those different streams that we need to use to get you out there.
All right, thank you. So you're my mentor now when it comes to that, because some things I don't really know how to do. Sure. Some things I don't be doing correctly. Right. You know, as Mr. Jeff say, he called me super tagger. You know, Greg, you tagging everybody. And you know, the people don't want to see you. Right. So I got to learn how to do better.
Because it's certain hashtags that you use that put you in different realms and have you come up in different realms on social media. Not just tagging the actual person, but tagging, like, if you look on a hashtag, there's certain ones that have like millions of tags. Those are the ones you want to use. Right. So it spreads you out to different people, because on the Explorer pages, right, those are used by hashtags. These some good details that we'll discuss in person that'll get you out there more. And Stacye has a whole lot of different ideas, strategies as well.
I appreciate that. Now y'all see that? Now what we just did is he teach me and I teach him. All right? And that's the same thing you can do. So remember, if you don't have your dad, I'm coming to you. If you don't have your dad in your life, look to other mentors. All right? If your dad is not in your life, we're not going to just fall down and just say, I ain't worried about it. You look to other mentors. Look to your uncle, brother, or look to somebody like what we're doing right now. And don't be afraid to ask somebody, hey, man, I want to learn what you're doing. And then take it from there. What you think about that, Mr. Jeff? Let me throw the ball to you.
Yeah, I think that even like say Prince, he has a dad, but his dad don't know about the flipping or the real estate or all that. So he's taking on another mentor to help make him better in other areas. Now he could say, hey Dad, now here's a way he could include his dad. Hey Dad, why don't you go with me and learn about flipping these houses? So that's another way to kind of get your dad engaged. You might find something you love doing, or you might want to know how to fish. And say, hey Dad, I've been going fishing with Mr. Jesse. Why don't you come out with us one day when we go out on the boat? And then that can build some relationships with your dad. And then your dad said, man, I love fishing. I ain't been fishing in about 20 years. I used to go all the time with my granddaddy, but I didn't think you would like that. You know, so you just got to find other mentors, people that can show you some things. And you're not limited to the numbers of mentors that you can have. But with me, a lot of young men, they may approach me and people think I'm so busy all the time. I'm busy, but I'm like a nocturnal creature. I'm just always up. I don't have to sleep. Hey, I'm like Red Rat. We like Energizer Bunny. I tell them I get enough sleep when they throw a tag on my toe. So I'm just up all the time because my brain is always twirling and whirling all the time.
All right, take it, correct?
You got a question right here?
Yeah, let's go back to him.
Where is it at in Bartow?
We'll get with you. We'll get with you and let you know.
So that's July 10th. What do you have a question?
Alright, what y'all doing for Father's Day?
What are we doing for Father's Day? Sunday, man, I'm gonna pull up on my dad. He don't know it. Hopefully he ain't working. My dad work a lot, just like I do as well. I'm gonna just pull up on him and ask him what he wanna do. Whether he wanna go out to eat. My dad a lot to eat good food. He loves seafood. So I'm gonna probably, if I can't take him to an actual restaurant, I know he loves Mr. and Mrs. Crab. This is what I do. You know, I might ride over there, take him ride over there to Brandon and get him something to eat because they haven't opened up the one in here locally in Lakeland. So I'm gonna ask a few people, what are you doing on Father's Day? What you doing on Father's Day? You doing Sunday? Sunday.
Going to sleep.
For
You
real.
going to sleep
All day.
No, first I'm gonna celebrate for
Right here on the back, on the sofa back there, sleep back there. Hey, 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 hey,
You should have started his forehead.
hey.
It's so cold.
Kevin Gates.